Hi, my name is Michaela, Mac for short. I am starting this channel after a lot of thought. I think it's more of I need other people to hear about my journey, hopefully to inspire them to start theirs. Some of it is for me as well. I've been doing these videos for quite a while. They've all been for me, so future me can look back and see where I was, and hopefully where I'm at now is a lot better. This is going to be about my health. I'll give you a little bit of background about it. I just turned 30 last week, and when I first started trying to worry more about my health, it was 7 years ago. I just moved to the coast of Oregon. It's beautiful here and I love it. And I don't know, it's been a very odd journey. I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted and it didn't really matter, and now I realize that it did, but I didn't know. So as of today, it is July 29th, 2023. I am starting a very large endeavor. A little bit of background on my health. I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroiditis in January of 2022, as well as hypothyroidism. For those of you who don't know what Hashimoto's is, it is an autoimmune disease. It is where your body starts to attack your thyroid because it sees it as a foreign identity. I don't think I said the right word, but that's okay. It sees it as foreign, and it tries to kill it because it sees it as a threat to you. It creates a lot of complications. It is something that you can easily live with, and I have been slowly learning how to heal it. It's been a very long journey, and I think this last year, even though my health has gone through very high ups and very low lows, I think it's been a very necessary year. So in sorry, I'm outside, so there's mosquitoes. So in 2021, I started taking losing weight very seriously, mostly because my parents had passed. My dad passed from cancer in April of 2021, and my mom passed from, hers is a little bit more complicated. She had cancer the year before. She survived it, and then she got COVID, and things happened with COVID. But she ended up passing away from internal bleeding. And after that, I learned a very harsh lesson on taking care of yourself and learning to heal your body. And for me, it's really important that you understand that those steps are what brought me to my decision, along with, honestly, a decision I made 7 years ago. If I couldn't get my health and my weight down to a certain level by the time I turned 30, I was going to make the decision to have a gastric, either sleeve or bypass, whatever works for me. And I'm going to talk to my surgeon about it, figure out what's going to work for me. If I can do it, I guess we'll find out. So in 2021, after everything had happened, I took losing weight very seriously, and I found out, honestly, a lot of information about myself. It was great. It was the most successful I'd ever been at losing weight. My starting weight, when I started doing a certain health program, which I'm not going to mention anything by name. I don't think that's right. I don't. The particular program I went through, it did focus more on learning how food affects your body and how to eat the right portions and all of this. And it's very important to know that. It also gave me a very large realization that I know what my body's supposed to feel like. And I went from, I think I was at 270 when I first started, and then I got down to 210, which for me, it was the most amazing thing I had ever felt. It's so hard to explain to a lot of people unless like you've lost a significant amount of weight like I did. I have been overweight my entire life. My entire life. And it's very difficult to accept how big I've gotten now. I don't know how to say this without it sounding awful, I guess. When I had gotten down lower, everything felt better. Like I wanted to go and do stuff. I was happier. It was so easy for me to be happy. It wasn't because I was like, I feel like I look really pretty. This is awesome. That was just like an upside. That's awesome. But I genuinely felt like I can take on the world. I would sleep the best I'd ever slept in my life. I've always struggled with sleeping issues. It's gotten worse the heavier I've gotten. And when I was on that program, I got down to G10, and I wanted to take a break from it and go back a little bit toward normal eating, not as restrictive, to let my body settle. It stayed at 210 for 2 to 3 months. It was very consistently there. I was going to the gym. I was doing everything right. And when things started going downhill again is when I was diagnosed with Hashimoto's. No fault to my doctors. My body doesn't react well to synthetic anything, honestly. And I was put on some medication to increase my thyroid hormone because it was too low. And when that happened, I was hit with this insatiable hunger that took me probably close to 8 months to at least lower it. And I cannot even tell you or describe to you how awful that was. It did not matter how much I ate. It didn't matter if I was throwing up the amount of food I was eating. I was never satisfied, and I still have that to this day. And I don't know if it was because of the medication. I will probably never know, and that's fine. But because of that, and because of how much I fought against food, and every waking second I had, I was thinking about food, and it didn't matter if I was doing something. I'd be having a conversation about something I was so happy about, and in the back of my mind, I'd be thinking, when was the next time I could put something in my mouth? Okay, and luckily, oh gosh, that's been probably 6 or 7 months since I've had it that extreme, and the relief I felt has been phenomenal. I went from 210 to now I'm sitting at 295, the highest I've ever been. It is exhausting. It is so exhausting. This year has been horrendous. Gaining so much weight so quickly, because I have gained 85 pounds minimum. I checked my weight last week. I'm probably over 300 now. I have never been that high. I'm so sorry. I don't have a gentle way of saying that, and it hurts to be able to say that. I don't want to be this big. I am doing everything I can to not be this big, and because of the health problems I've had this last year and how much medication I was put on and how high and low my hormones went, it made it hard to exist. I never wanted to do anything harmful to myself. It just made me not want to do the things I loved. I couldn't get out of bed, honestly, for months. Like, I would go to work and I would be a shell of myself. I would push through it, and then on the weekends, I would sleep the entire weekend. I would barely talk to my friends. Mosquito, sorry. it was very difficult. So now that I am at a point that I am a lot healthier than I was, I'm off all medication, which is fantastic. I feel a lot better. I'm still exhausted. Like, if on a scale from 1 to 10, I've been sitting at a 2 to a 5 the last year, and 10 being like, I got this. 1 being, I am not getting out of this bed. Whatever you say, I can barely talk to you. I've been seeing from a 2 to a 5 the last year and a half. It's hard. So I want to get back to how I felt, how energized I felt. I didn't have to do anything, honestly. I didn't feel pressured to do anything. I wanted to. I wanted to go on bike rides. I wanted to go on hikes. I want to get back to that. I loved that feeling. I felt on top of the freaking world. So, all of that being said, I applied for the bariatric program through my healthcare, and I am deciding to get the surgery, which I mentioned earlier. It is a scary step. Like, I am genuinely scared. Not because I don't think it's the easy way out. I have been reading about all of this for, the past month or so. And it's, from what I can hear, it is one of the hardest decisions you can make. It's not an easy way out. It is a life-changing event, and it changes you for the rest of your life. And I finally think I'm ready for that. I do. I knew that by 30, if I couldn't do it on my own, I needed help. And this is the tool that I need. So, from this point on, I'm going to do checkups every time I have a meeting with my nurse, which I've already been assigned. I have a phone call with her next Friday. It'll be in the morning, so I will be able to ask her any of my questions. I'm going to write them down, and when I get the answers, I will put it on here, because I will be continuing this for the next year, possibly longer, depending on how well this goes. Or I'm really awful with getting distracted by things. The brain fog is real. I will tell you how I'm feeling on all these steps. I will tell you the things that I'm going through. So I'm sure that there are going to be times where I'm going to be crying. And if you want to take this journey with me, I would love that. This isn't just for you, it's for me. I need to be able to look back and see more than those videos of me crying. Because I can tell you right now, I have made so many of those videos begging my future self, please be strong enough to do this. So, starting Monday, I've been going to the gym for a little while now. I'm not the best at it. I'm not, because I think it's hard to find a really good gym. I know from experience that I do best in women's only gyms, because I don't feel scared. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. I am, but unfortunately that has been my experience. It's not everyone. There are a very select few that will go out of their way to harass people that are like me, that are overweight, that are significantly overweight, which in a future video I will be doing a full body so you can see what I'm talking about. I have been very blessed in my portions, so no one ever can guess my weight. If I told someone that I was almost 300 pounds, they would probably not believe me. Mostly because when I was at 260, everyone thought I was at 180, which I think is very flattering. I appreciate that. The funny thing is, I don't particularly care about the number. I do, because I know that what is associated with that number is the amount of pain that I'm in. Everything hurts all the time. My back never not hurts. My feet are always on fire. The weight does damage. I don't know what else to say to that. I'm going to speak my own honest truth. And I would hopefully expect you guys to be okay with that. But this is my intro, and hopefully in a year from now, I can look back at this and go, thank you for doing this, because now I get to see the me that was so hopeful for a better future. So, from what I understand, and before I sign off, I'm going to try and do 20-minute videos each time, just so I don't go overboard. So I have about 4.5 minutes left. I am leaning more toward a bypass, mostly because I struggle with overeating. It is something I've always struggled with, and I struggle with sugar. Over the last couple of years, I have been to nearly cut out. I do have those months where I really struggle with breads. I almost never drink sodas now. It's once a couple times a year. I used to drink them all the time. I very rarely eat candy bars. Every day I'm eating vegetables, fruit, and meat. I'm still trying to get the right portions down. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I do have a nutritionist that I'm going to be talking to now. My first appointment with her is on Monday. I'm very excited about that. That's tomorrow. And I have no idea what I'm doing with my health. I don't. I know that there's some things that you need to have a lot less of, which is like sugars and carbs, and you need to keep that down, which I am keeping a food journal again. I'm keeping track of the calories, carbs, fats, proteins, and fiber that I'm eating, which I very much struggle with eating fiber. That is my bane, and it turns out it's hard for me to eat protein. I thought because I like my meats that I wouldn't struggle with that, but it's very hard for me to hit 60 grams of protein. Yeah, I kind of surprised by that myself. But you kind of surprise yourself whenever you start writing your stuff down and figuring out what you're actually eating. It's kind of cool, actually. I did it for a couple of months because my primary doctor didn't quite believe me that I would spend months at a time eating exactly what all those fad diets say, which I've tried all of them. The one that worked best was keto, but I would take the advice of everyone. I would try it for a while and it would work for a week and then it'd stop. I do take measurements. I have a app that I put this little suit on. It's kind of cool where it has these little dots all over it. I really like it because it makes a 3D model of my body, which is very sad sometimes, but realistic. You can't really fake that one. It's not like I can just tuck away my chunky. But I am going to start doing that again. I started a couple months ago and then I stopped because it was embarrassing. But I think this will be really good for future me to be able to have a visual, which if I can ever figure it out, I will show you as well. And I don't know. I cut out a lot of the carbs. I'm not the best at it. I still hang around 100. The keto I was doing was at 50, which was already very difficult. A lot of that involved making my own food and supplementing out a lot of stuff, which yes, it worked. It went down very slowly, but it was unmaintainable for me. I unfortunately really struggle with remembering to do things. That's why I think having this tool for me, I'm going to be over 20 minutes. I'm sorry about that. It's the first episode. I'll time this better next time. No, Gypsy. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm so sorry. No. My dog, Gypsy. She's a pit bull. She's adorable. And very, very needy sometimes. But I don't eat a lot of sugars anymore. I do try and supplement out as much as I can. And recently I've been trying this protein shake. It's actually pretty darn good. It's kind of weird. I never thought I'd like protein shakes, but I do like this one. I drink a lot of Atkins. I usually have those on my breaks, so I don't want to overeat when I get home. I do struggle with late night eating, which is something I've been trying to work on. So if I do have those insatiable urges where I can't sleep, I have been trying to switch it from like I have these little gummies. They're delicious. They're little natural gummies. I can't remember the brand, but they use natural sugars and they're delicious. But instead of having just one, I have several packages, which is not the intended use of those individual packages. I've been trying to switch it out where I have some pickles and some hummus. It's actually kind of satisfying. It's difficult, but I know that having this tool where they take out the part of your stomach that makes you hungry would honestly just give me the relief I need to be able to start over, because I need that relief. I've had years of never being satisfied. For as long as I can remember, I've never been satisfied with food. I'll just stop eating because my stomach hurts. That excluding last year, where I had those like 6 to 8 months of ravenous hunger, where I quite literally, it didn't matter if I was like throwing up the food, which I had done multiple times because I had eaten too much, which I am fairly certain I have stretched my stomach to its absolute limit. But yeah, I need that gone. I just need a little bit of a break because I am tired of thinking about food 24/7. I am so tired of thinking about food 24/7. And from what I've been understanding, it doesn't happen to everyone, but to some, they do lose that appetite for a while, which is a dream come true for me. And then there's something called dumping syndrome, which is why I'm leaning more toward gastric bypass, which again, I will go off whatever my surgeon suggests because I am not a medical professional. I do not know what I'm doing. But I hope for these results, and I will do whatever they tell me to do. But I hope for that one because you're more likely to have something called dumping syndrome, which is when your body completely disagrees with whatever you are eating and it makes you throw it back up. You have a very violent reaction to it. Some is more violent than others. It is definitely on a scale. It sounds really bad, but I am going to be as honest as with you as I can be. And I need that. I have a very unhealthy relationship with food, and I have been working on that for years, and I have made more progress this year than I have ever made in my entire life. I am eating more healthy foods, just a lot less processed foods than I used to, significantly so. If I were saying 10 years ago, I was at 100% unhealthy foods, which honestly, that's probably honest. I probably had I was living off of Jack in the Box. It was 100% processed. But I am probably at 30 to 40% processed, and that has been a process. It is not easy. And I know there's going to be some people out there that are going to see this and they're just going to say, try harder. I have. It has been almost a decade of this, okay? I am tired of doing this on my own. I need help, okay? I have gone to the gym. I have eaten healthier. I have followed all of those diets to the T, and it works for a little while, but it's unattainable. It's unrealistic. Okay, everyone is different, and I am healing my body slowly. But what I 100% need to complete this journey that I have started, and I am fully intending to finish is help. I need a year. A year is enough time for you to reshape all of your habits into healthier habits, and that is what this surgery will give me. A year where I am speaking to my nutritionist as much as I can, so we can continue to talk on whatever habits that I am obviously lacking. I am lacking, and I am aware, and I'm going to be speaking to my therapist to make sure I can deal with all of the emotions that I have been burying in food, because I have been. Most people that are overweight are doing that because we were raised in a way, which absolutely no fault to my parents. I love my parents. They did the best that they could, just like all of our parents did. My childhood left scars, and I buried those scars with food. Why do you think I'm almost 300 pounds? Okay. Anytime I'm stressed, food brings me comfort. Every time I'm sad, food brings me comfort. So I am choosing to do this, not because I know it's easy. It is not. Oh my God, you should watch some of these stories. It is hard. There's a lot of risks that you're taking doing this, and it is not easy. Do you have any idea of the steps you have to take to be even qualified for this? Like, if for my insurance company, there is a minimum of a 3-month certified diet with a nutritionist, because they want you to build healthier habits before you start this, because they don't want this to fail, because they know what I just told you, which I, as being a fat person, PH, not F, being that type of person, I know that. I do. I've done it. So we're being realistic here. So anyone that is going to hate on me, one, I'm not going to answer it to any of your comments. I hope that everyone else that stays, if you do stay and watch my journey, I hope that this helps. I don't know if I'm going to back out at the last minute. I sure hope not. I don't think I will, even though I'm terrified of the surgery. I'm really scared of the pain, but reading everyone's journey and watching their stories honestly has helped me be brave enough to do this for myself. So I hope I'm that person for someone, and I hope I make it. So that being said, I am going to finish up my little ramble, because I kind of went off topic there for a minute, especially since it's a little bit after 20 minutes. It's almost 30, in fact. Thank you for talking with me or listening to me. As soon as I finish up with my nurse's appointment, I will make another video to update you on what's going on. I have not yet been reached out to by my surgeon's team, and I am working on getting my therapist, because I need to go through therapy for this so I heal, so I can become a different person on the other side. Every step of the way. This is my journaling, I suppose. Thank you so much for sitting with me. Again, my name is Michaela, and I hope the next time that we talk, one, it'll be a little shorter, hopefully. Two, I have more answers, and I will try and make a list of things that are encouraging me that week, or I'm learning from other people's stories. I will not mention names of anyone, because I don't think that's okay. I will also keep as much details about myself besides my healing journey off this channel. Thank you for sitting with me. I will get you my sizes next time. I will do my little, so I will start with my weight of that day, my sizes, and then what stage I am on in my journey. Thank you.